Hey everyone, I'm ShadowDTV and today we're going to take a look at some streaming setup so you can start streaming. We're going to look at a beginner setup, we're going to look at an intermediate setup, and we're going to look at a professional setup. Now for all of these setups, they all have a few things in common. You're going to need a PC or a console to stream from. You're going to need some software if you're on PC like OBS or Streamlabs OBS. Don't worry, this software is all free. You're going to need a microphone, even if it's something as simple as your laptop's inbuilt microphone or some Apple headphones. You're going to need a camera or a webcam. Again, this can be a laptop webcam or an external webcam that you plug in. You're going to need some headphones, so either a gaming headset or just some Apple earbuds. This is so when you're talking into a microphone, the sound that's coming out of your speakers isn't also going into the microphone. And then there's a bunch of accessories that we can get, which are all optional, such as overlays, stream decks, mixers, all of those sort of things. So we're going to go through the bare minimum that you need to start streaming, and then we'll look at ways that you can upgrade your stream. Don't forget to like this video. If you're looking for streaming tutorials, we've got plenty on the channel. We've also got game reviews and some gameplay, so go and check that out as well. Let me know in the comment section what kind of tutorials you'd like to see on the channel, and also let me know how your streaming journey is going. If you need any help with the setup of your stream, I do have a complete OBS Studio Master Course playlist. You can find that in the description, and you can also join our Discord and ask me any questions in there. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So this beginner setup, I kind of consider testing the waters, seeing if you enjoy streaming before then spending money on better gear. Yes, you're going to need a computer or a console and those sort of things, but things like microphones and webcams, I don't think you should invest a lot of money into these until you know that streaming is fun and enjoyable and right for you. So the first thing you're going to need is a computer or a console to stream from. So if you're using an Xbox or a PlayStation, you can stream directly to Twitch or YouTube from those devices. Personally, I prefer to have a computer setup. You can do a lot more with a computer setup, but if you're on Xbox or PlayStation, don't worry. A lot of this will apply to you as well. If you are on PC, you will need some type of software that will allow you to stream. So I personally use OBS Studio, which I have a tutorial on in my OBS Studio Master Course playlist. Or you can use Streamlabs OBS, which is almost identical to OBS Studio. It just has a bunch of features that are inbuilt to the software that make it a little bit more user-friendly. Now don't worry which one you pick, all of this is going to apply to both of them. So for a microphone, my suggestion as a beginner setup is to just use the microphone inbuilt in your computer, or even better, something like Apple headphones or any pair of headphones that have a microphone attached, you can use that. Or if you already have a gaming headset like me, I have the Razer Kraken X here. This already has a microphone built in. So when I'm using these headphones, you can see I can talk straight into this microphone. Of course, having one of these microphones is never going to be as high quality as a USB mic or an XLR microphone like I have here, but for a beginner setup, a headset microphone works great. Next, which I believe is very important, is a camera or webcam. When you're playing games, interacting with chat, people want to see your face. They want to get to know you, they want to see your quirks, they want to be able to interact with you. That's what people really enjoy most about watching streams. So for a beginner, I would just use the webcam inbuilt to your laptop, or if you don't have one built into your computer and you don't want to purchase one, there is a very inexpensive software you can get on your phone, and you will be able to use your phone as a webcam through a USB connection or through Wi-Fi. The software that I used personally when I started streaming on my mobile is called WEBCAM. Now I had this on iPhone. I do believe it's also available on Android phones through the Google Play Store. So go and check that out. You can use it for free, but the quality is reduced. I believe that to pay to use the software, it was $12 for a lifetime ownership. So it's very inexpensive, and the quality, mind you, was actually pretty good. If you would like to see a tutorial on how to set up WEBCAM, let me know down in the comment section below, and I'll be happy to make one for you. And then lastly, you're just going to need some headphones to block out any sound from the microphone. What I mean by that is sound coming out of speakers or out of your laptop is going to come through the microphone, which you do not want. So a simple pair of Apple headphones, or if you've already got a gaming headset, that's going to work perfectly. Now that's actually all you need for our beginner setup. Now, yes, there's a few things like you might want some overlays for your stream to make it look a little bit nicer, but honestly, they're not required to start streaming. Yes, your stream's going to be a little bit more plain than others, but you're just testing out to see if streaming's right for you. Especially if you're just streaming for some friends, maybe through Discord or just on Twitch just so your friends can hang out with you and watch you play, then overlays and things like that aren't necessary. A lot of people think that you need a physical mixer for mixing your audio levels while streaming. I personally just use the Windows mixer on my computer. So my microphone comes through my software, so I can adjust that, and my desktop audio comes through the software. But to level how loud my Discord is, how loud my games are, how loud my music is, I actually just use the Windows audio. And to bring up an overlay while you're gaming, the Xbox overlay, if you have it enabled on Windows 10, you can just press the Windows key and G, and it will come up on screen. Okay, so that's our beginner setup. Now, if you've started streaming and you're enjoying it and you're having fun, you might have a couple of viewers who drop into your stream all the time. Maybe you want to upgrade your gear and start having your stream look a bit more professional. So we're now going to go through an intermediate setup. So for the intermediate setup, most of this is personally what I currently use. To go from an intermediate setup to a professional setup, I wouldn't recommend getting all of the pro gear unless you already have some, as a lot of it is very expensive, and I wouldn't really start to look into that sort of stuff unless you're getting paid, a lot of money while you stream, or if you are a full-time streamer. For my webcam, personally, I use a Logitech C922. It's a great webcam. They're not too expensive. You plug it in with a USB, it looks great. That's what I'm filming on right now. Down from the C922 is the C920. This webcam is just as good. The C922 just has a few extra little features that I like to use. They are both great quality, they're not too expensive, and you're going to have a great looking stream. Remember, most of the time your webcam is going to be a lot smaller than the actual stream because people will be watching the game, so you really don't need a super high definition webcam. The C922 is full HD 1080p at 30 frames per second, or if you're at 720p, you'll get 60 frames per second. Next is the microphone. Now, an upgrade from just your headset microphone, or maybe, you've got some Apple earbuds with a microphone, is going to be a USB microphone. Now, there's a lot of them on the market. We'll take a look at a couple of them now. So one thing you need to know about microphones, and I'm not going to go too in depth into this, is that there's two types of microphones that you need to know about. There's condenser microphones and dynamic microphones. Now, condenser microphones require power. Plug it in with a USB, it's going to get the power that it needs, but they are very sensitive. If you've got PC fans, heaters running, you've got external noise, this microphone is going to pick it up. Personally, I prefer a dynamic microphone. These don't require power. You can still get USB versions of this. They will pick up less sound. So as you can see, this microphone in front of me is a dynamic microphone, and I have it right in front of me. Yes, you're going to see it on stream, but it's going to be very clear. As you can hear, I'm fairly clear right now, and it's going to not pick up external sounds. I've got my PC right next to me. You shouldn't really be able to hear the fan. Now, if I had a condenser microphone, it would be very, very obvious. You'd be able to hear my keyboard sounds. You'd be able to hear my PC fan. So you do have a few options of USB microphones. Personally, the Rode Podcaster, it's a dynamic microphone. It looks great. Having it on stream, people are going to look at it and go, wow, that's a really cool looking microphone. And it is a USB microphone. That's personally my pick. A very, very popular one is the Blue SNOWBAL microphone. I have also used this microphone. It is a great microphone. It looks really cool. You can have it off the screen. It can sit on your desk, but it is a condenser microphone. It will pick up a lot of noise. So if you've got it sitting next to your computer, it might not be the right choice for you. So out of these two options, you have the Blue SNOWBAL Ice, which is about 90 Australian dollars, extremely affordable. So if it's within your price range, go for that one. If you do have a little bit more room to spend, I would go with the Rode Podcaster mic at 250 Australian dollars. Some of you are sighing and going, $250 for a microphone, that's expensive. And look, yes, it is. But there are much, much higher cost microphones available, which we're going to go through in a moment. Again, if you can't afford that, go for the Blue SNOWBAL Ice. You're not going to have any issues with it. It's a great first microphone. So we've got a great looking webcam now, and we've got a great microphone. Next, again, you're going to want headphones. You've already got a gaming headset, that's going to do. Now, some accessories you might look at this intermediate level are things like lighting. So if you're just using the lights in your room, you're not going to have the best lighting. I have a couple of lamps here, and I'll show you what I've done. I've done a bit of DIY work to make these lamps not as bright, as it'll wash out your face. As you can see, the light is very soft. It's not washing me out, and it looks pretty good. I can show you a DIY way to turn any lamp into a decent looking lighting setup. So as I mentioned, this is a normal lamp. I bought this at the hardware store. And as you can see, I've just blue tacked some paper on the front. Now, do be careful. If you're not using an LED globe, it is going to get hot. I've got an LED globe in this, so it doesn't get too hot. I've just put some, you can use baking paper. I've got actually a layer of notepad paper and I've blue tacked that on there. You might need a couple of layers. Set it up behind your screen or next to your screen, turn it on, make sure your face isn't too washed out and you're good to go. I have one of these lamps on both sides of my screen so I get enough light. I also have a couple of lamps in the corners of the room just to give a bit more soft light so it's not too dark on the sides. If you guys want to see an in-depth tutorial on how I set up all my lighting, let me know in the comments section down below and I'd love to make a video of that for you all. One important thing with the lighting is you want a cool white light. You don't want a warm light, so there's different types of light bulbs. You'll know what a warm light looks like. It's that yellowy light that you get from the globe. You don't want that. It's going to make you look really yellow. It's not going to be bright. It's not going to be vibrant. So you want to have the right color temperature. So when you're looking for globes, you want something at 5000K. This is like normal sunlight. So when you're out in the sun, it's like direct sunlight. That's the type of light you want. Anything below that is going to be more yellowish and more red. And anything lighter than that is going to start to look more blue. Anything between 4000 and 6000K is also going to look pretty good. Now we've got some nice lighting. The next thing we might want to look at is something like an external mixer. So as I said previously, you can just use the Windows mixer. I use that at the moment. I don't have enough space on my desk at the moment for an external mixer, but when I do move house, I'm going to be getting one. So if you are looking at getting a digital mixer for your stream, a great product that's fairly new is the TC HELICON Go XLR Mini. And this is an all-in-one audio interface. It plugs in through USB. You'll be able to plug a XLR microphone into this. You can plug your headset mic, your headphones. It's got a range of options and you'll be able to mix in different things from your PC. So you can have a fader for your microphone, a fader for your Discord sound, a fader for your music, and then a fader for your game. So I'm showing you that here. This is a great choice. They're about 400 Australian dollars. I wouldn't get anything more expensive than this for an intermediate setup. This also works with dual streaming setups. So if you do have two PCs and you're doing a dual stream setup, this will work for you. When you get to the pro streaming setup, I will go over dual PC setups. Another great piece of software and hardware that you can buy is an ELGATO Stream Deck. I have an ELGATO Stream Deck. This thing is amazing. If you want, I do have a video in the description that shows you how to get an ELGATO Stream Deck on your mobile phone. You get a free 30-day trial and then it's extremely inexpensive to purchase. On mobile, it works fantastic. I have a physical Stream Deck which you can also purchase. They run for about 250 Australian dollars. The mobile equivalent works out to about a $38 subscription per year. They both work fantastic. If you can afford a real Stream Deck, they're great. The buttons are really nice to press. You can set up GIFs and things like that, so they're nice and animated. You can set up your scene sources. These things are amazing. Go and check out that video. And lastly, for an intermediate setup, you might want a green screen. Now, I personally do use a green screen. If you don't know what a green screen does, basically, I can put any background behind me during my stream, during my YouTube videos. I have a big piece of green cloth behind me. With some settings in your streaming software, you can set it up so that I can be cut out. You won't see any background. You'll see whatever background I want to put behind it. I can put videos behind me. When I'm playing games, it can just be my body and my gaming chair. You won't see any of the background in my room while I'm playing games. It's very neat. It's very professional looking. If you do want to set up a green screen, you can purchase portable green screens online. If you want a cheap DIY setup, let me know in the comment section if you'd like to see that. I can show you my DIY green screen setup. Just to show you an example of what I'm talking about, this background is a photo of my streaming setup that I overlay so you can see my screens and my computer, and it's nice and professional looking. I can even play videos like this cool visual that you're seeing behind me. So guys, that is an intermediate setup. Now there were some accessories in there like lighting, a stream deck, a mixer, and a green screen. You don't need that kind of stuff to stream at this intermediate level. Your stream's still going to look professional. You get some overlays, you can get some overlays online, get someone to make you some custom overlays. That's really going to up the production level of your stream. Out of all those accessories, I would suggest getting some lighting setups. You can purchase USB lights and like soft light boxes on Amazon and eBay, but my DIY lighting setup will work just as well. And finally, the professional streaming setup. Now, I wouldn't recommend getting a lot of this gear unless, you're getting paid a lot of money for streaming or it's going to be your full-time job. So first up is the camera. What a lot of professional streamers like to use is a DSLR camera. This is the camera that you see photographers use at parties and events. They're quite expensive. Yes, you can double it up and use it as a real camera. You know, when you go to a family event or a birthday party, you can use it and then bring it home and use it for your streaming. So your Canon DSLR is starting at about 500 Australian dollars. You'd be looking at something like a Canon 1500D. These cameras can go all the way up to about 3,000 Australian dollars. Yes, one of these cameras is going to look better than your webcam, but you do need to remember that most of the time when you're streaming, your camera is going to be quite small, and the notice in quality from your webcam to a DSLR camera is not going to be as noticeable. But if you can afford it and you want to have your stream looking like as professional as possible, then you're going to want to go with a DSLR. On top of purchasing the DSLR, you're also going to need to purchase a capture card to capture the DSLR into your computer. Unlike a webcam, these aren't USB devices. They're made for taking photos and video, not for streaming or running the video into your computer. So you will need something like an ELGATO 4K capture card. So this is also going to add to the cost. Next up is your microphone. So the microphone that I use is the SHURE SM58. This is an XLR microphone, so it does not use a USB. You will require an audio interface to plug this into your computer. Audio interfaces can set you back about 150 Australian dollars, and then this microphone is also about 150 Australian dollars. Now, for a professional setup, you'd be looking at a microphone something like the SHURE SM7B. I'm sure you've seen plenty of streamers using this microphone. It is very similar to this one in that it is a dynamic microphone, but it is a lot better quality. It has a few more options. SM7Bs are used in broadcasting studios all around the world. You're going to get great audio quality for your stream from one of these. Back to our lighting. Here is where you might want to buy some more expensive lighting options. ELGATO have a USB lighting setup that you can control with your phone. These are very, very good. The reviews I've seen of these are very, very good. You can also buy soft boxes and bigger light boxes if your room size permits it on eBay and Amazon. Now, at this professional level, you're probably going to have 2 computers for your streaming setup. One computer is going to be for your gaming, and you're going to have another computer for your streaming. So how this works is you run a capture card in your streaming PC, you play games on your other PC, and you run a HDMI into this capture card. It will capture all the video and audio from your gaming PC, and your streaming PC will control all your streaming software and things like that. The reason this setup is good because all your gaming is being done on one system, which means you can really max out your graphics settings. You're going to have a smooth gameplay. You're going to be able to get those high frame rates while not affecting the stream quality. Personally, I stream from one computer and play games on that same computer. Sometimes I do have to sacrifice the game quality and my frame rate so that I can have a great looking stream. This obviously adds a very high cost as you're going to require 2 computers. If you already have a high-end gaming PC, buying another PC is going to be a very big cost. And at this level, you're definitely going to want accessories like a stream deck. You might want a green screen. You could get buy a professional green screen. These can be quite expensive, but they're going to be very solid green. It's going to be really easy and look really good. Again, your mixer. So we were looking at the TC Helicon XLR Go Mini. There is a bigger version of this mixer at around 800 Australian dollars. This thing allows you to do sound effects, use a voice changer to add effects to your voice like reverb, make you sound like a robot, things like that, and sound effects. So you can press buttons to launch sound effects as well. So if you can afford it and you're looking for a high-end digital mixer, you might look at something like the TC Helicon Go XLR. And of course, a multi-monitor setup. What kind of gamer would you be without a multi-monitor setup? So personally, I have 2 monitors. I have one in front of me that I use for gaming, and then I have my streaming software on the other one with my Twitch chat and all my other things like Discord, those sort of things. But all of my gaming is done on the one monitor. A lot of professional setups, you'll see 3 or more. They might have the game here, some streaming software here, and then another vertical screen for their chat and other things like that. Personally, you can stream with one screen. Some people have the game on their one screen and then they use their phone to interact with chat. They can read the chat off their phone. Personally, I think 2 monitors is a good in between and is perfect for your game and your stream. So guys, those are my 3 levels of streaming setups. We've got beginner, intermediate, and a professional setup. If you think I've missed anything or anything that you think is essential to streaming, let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you like this video, hit the subscribe button, trust me, you won't regret it. We got tips and trick tutorials for streaming to Twitch, making YouTube videos, and we've got tons of gameplay from my Twitch stream. Again, I'm ShadowDTV. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.